Welcome to Coco's Corner. I'm the huge one, Dave Coco from CocoSports.com, KOCOSports.com, or CocoSports.net. It takes you to the same place. It's where the world comes to kick ass, your home for combat sports, and above all, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. This week's WWE NXT review, as always, we ask you, win, loss, or tie, what did you think of the show? Put it down in the comments below. And overall, I love NXT. It's one of my favorite shows. I'm really starting to enjoy NXT, ROH, Lucha Underground, and late TNA before, it left Spike, and see it come back. I'm really enjoying the battle for second place. It seems that that's where the best wrestling shows are going. With that said, I have to be honest. I love Prince Devitt more than a straight man should. But with all that said, I have to say this was a loss. This is the first time in a while that WWE NXT embarrassed me. It was like, oh, all right. As pro wrestling fans, we hope that one day NXT changes WWE. It seems this week we lost the war, where WWE just changed NXT. I was really looking forward to this show, really looking forward to the matches, and just absolutely fucking drove me insane. Like, they just, let's go as fucking high as we could fucking possibly go on the stupidity wagon. It's just fucking sad. Let's break it down. Usually I give NXT, I mostly give wins. I can't even give this a tie. It's really, really bad, and it's got two of my favorite athletes in the main event. I hope that when the NXT Revolution, the TakeOver, happens, that they put on one hell of a match, one hell of a show. But NXT, I don't know if it's because they're recording all the shows at once. I don't know what the situation is, but this was a bad show from start to finish. It is probably the most skippable show in NXT history. There's probably never been a show that's been more skippable. But let's break it down anyway. We break down the good ones, we break down the bad ones, and we even break down the ties. You have Tyler Breeze defeats Marcus Luis. It was bad. It was just bad. Tyler Breeze is Prince Pretty. I think very highly of him. I don't think very highly of Marcus Lewis, but in his defense, I don't know much about him. But his character of, I'm scared to be bald, is fucking ridiculous. Prince Pretty called him the Uggo of all Uggos, and he was just scared. He was beaten down. You're fucking bald, bro. That's it. Cesaro can deal with it. You have no fucking eyebrows. Who gives a shit? It's just bad. It's bad and all of that, but it was so bad that Tyler Breeze, one of your better wrestlers, just looks worse for it. Everything about this was fucking bad. Tyler Breeze defeats fucking Scaredy Cat McScared Cat. I'm bald, And I understand, everyone's going to have a midlife crisis when they go bald, but Jesus Christ, come on. Horrible. Next, Carmella defeats local competitor Blue Pants, better known as Leva Bates on the indie scene. The fact that they don't call her by her real name is an insult to fucking pro wrestling. It's an insult to Carmella. This whole fucking thing, it's just an insult. It's an insult. All right? Carmella, a decent fucking wrestler for the best of my knowledge, her gimmick is she's a hairdresser. And she lost her job, so fuck, you better give me a job at NXT. So NXT has become your Uncle fucking Lou. You're like, God damn it, I lost my job. Uncle Lou, can I work at the fucking butcher shop? Sure, come on in, baby Coco. Thank you, Uncle Lou. Are you out of your fucking mind? People fucking bust their ass. You have a fucking thing with Kevin Steen, Kenta, Prince Devitt, and what do they all say in their promos? I bust my ass 14, 15, 16, 20 years on the fucking independence national scene to make it to WWE NXT. And, oh, I lost my job at the fucking beauty salon. Just let me in. It is this whole fucking storyline, this whole fucking segment is nothing but a goddamn insult to fucking professional wrestling, women, human beings, and fucking mammals alike. It is fucking bad. So basically, this girl who's not that good looking, might be a decent wrestler, who fucking knows, fucking named Carmella, acting like fucking, I don't know, Zack Ryder's fucking mom, comes out with two fucking over guys and says, hey, dude, you got me lost. Just fucking get me a job. Okay, sure. Why the fuck not? Go fuck yourself, CM Punk and Colt Cabana. Fucking just come on board. Yeah, you're friends. Fucking yeah, bring it on. So it's an insult to every fucking human being that's ever wanted to be a pro wrestler and go to WWE. Great. Now it's an insult to women because obviously, well, Kenta had to bust his ass. Kevin Steen had to bust his ass. Prince Devitt had to bust his ass. All you had to do was lose your goddamn job. And it came so easily. How hard is it to fucking beat up on women? Then you go against Blue Pants, which is a fucking insult to Carmella, who's already insulting everything because you don't even have a fucking real opponent. Then fucking Blue Pants comes out, real name Leva Bates. You're an insult to that fucking young lady who's been busting her goddamn ass on the fucking indies. Leva Bates comes in, you beat her fucking pretty handily, but she don't even have a fucking name. What's the fucking point? It's like fucking Leonardo fucking destroying a foot soldier on Ninja Turtles cartoon and be like, fuck yeah, I'm the hero, baby. Look at me, I just beat a foot soldier. No, you have to fucking beat someone with a goddamn name at least, you fucking pieces of shit. There was nothing good about this. This is insulting to pro wrestling. It's insulting to women, and it's just an insult to the human race. There's nothing good that came out of this. Nothing. Enzo Amore looks like an idiot. Carmella just watch Lucha Underground. Watch Sexy Star. Women are a fucking joke in WWE. I mean, all right, so if John Cena goes to a restaurant and knocks over a tray, does that mean that guy, that waiter who lost his job because John Cena knocked over the tray, he's fucking coming in? It reminds me of Waterboy. Remember Waterboy, the comedy with Adam Sandler? And Michigan tried to bring out a towel boy? That's what this reminds me of. I mean, I gave shit to TNA because Gunner started as a security guard. I'm like, what the fuck, a security guard? Dude, that's like genius compared to this. A hairdresser. Dude, I go to a barber. I go to a $10 barber. He doesn't do too bad of a job. I barely ever go. Let's say I go and fucking, spill shit all over his fucking desk. Like, he's got his little fucking setup. He's got his little brush. He's got his scissors. He's got his razor. And I just fucking decide to throw a bag of mud on it. And he gets fired. Does that mean we could just, hey, dude, fucking become a WWE superstar? Why the fuck not? If a hairdresser could do it, why can't a barber? It's a fucking insult to fucking everything. And it's not even entertaining. You could be like, well, Dave, you don't have a sense of... What's entertaining about this? What is entertaining about this? It's just absolutely horrible. Horrible. Let's go to the next match. NXT champions Lucha Dragons defeat Jason Jordan and Ty Dillinger. Non-title match, so it doesn't fucking matter. Why bother having the fucking match? And Jason Jordan, Ty Dillinger, I want to see what these guys can do. They look like they have talent. They look like they could be a tag team, but they don't give them an opportunity to shine. Sin Cara, congratulations. You win the FedEx Mailed It In Award of the fucking year. Jesus Christ, I know you're not Mystico. We all know that. But can you at least try? Is that too much to ask? Hell, if you're not even going to try in the ring, can you at least try with your stupid lucha dance? Anyway, the Lucha Dragons win. and it builds up to a match with the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains had a really funny segment. They did like this sketch. It looked like a bank robbery. It was back in the early days of television. The Vaudevillains probably had spot of the night, and they just didn't even wrestle. Then Bayley tried to stand up to Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. This was just bad. It was just bad. It was Charlotte says don't go out there. Okay, I'm gonna address the WWE Universe. Bullies, and then the 2-on-1 beat down. It's just like, come on, dude. Fuck it. So next, the fucking, you know what? I'm reviewing this, but you're better off just not knowing what happened. And then the main event. Ring of Honor this week was a bit weak, but it had a decent main event. Lucha Underground had a hell of an undercard, but a shitty main event. It's time for the main event to save us, right? I love Prince Devitt. You love Prince Devitt. Everyone loves Prince Devitt. We love Tyson Kidd. Everyone loves Tyson Kidd. It's going to be amazing, right? Right? I'm excited. Listen, WWE, if you're going to sign Kenta and you're going to sign Prince Devitt and then say don't do any of your fucking moves and just have him mail it in like a goddamn fake Sin Cara earlier in the night, don't even fucking bother. At least Prince Devitt and the Bullet Club wouldn't have fucking broken Yoshitatsu's goddamn neck. Don't even fucking bother signing talented motherfuckers. If you're gonna fucking sign these talented wrestlers and be like, you know what? You're talented? Let's put you against another talented Tyson Kidd and just mail it in. Just mail it, and then fans come up to us and be like, yeah, that Finn Balor, didn't you say he was amazing? That Tommy, ain't he amazing? Yeah, they are amazing. I don't see it. Of course you don't see it. It's WWE. It's WWE. Why would you? On paper, this should have been a dream match. I should have came on this show screaming, yelling how amazing it was. I'm glad that Finn Balor and Tyson Kidd got to do a walkthrough through their match. I can't wait to really see their match. This was not a match. This was a walkthrough. It was a walkthrough. It was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Cool. I'm glad NXT let us get behind the scenes and see what a walkthrough looks like. Now, if you could you fucking get the fuck out of the way of the talent and let them actually wrestle? Could you do that? I'd really appreciate that. They continue the storyline of Natty and Tyson Kidd fighting all the time. I enjoy the storyline, but I just don't know where it's going. Finn Balor does win via disqualification because the Ascension runs out, and then Kenta runs out, and then they battle each other, and the referees and security try to separate them, and that's how they end it. As far as a brawl and people separating them, it looked very sloppy. It looked like security or the wrestlers who were supposed to spread them apart showed up late. So like the wrestlers were like, okay, we'll just keep hitting each other. It was beyond awkward, but it does lead to a match where it will be Kenta, Prince Devitt versus the Ascension, and I look forward to that. So hopefully that's what happens. NXT is still one of my favorite products, but this is, people ask me all the time about main event NXT, and they always ask, hey, Dave, is it worth watching? This is the first time I have to say, if I was looking you straight in the eye, I'd be like, no, dude, it's totally worth skipping. They did have a Kevin Owens, who's Kevin Steen, coming video. He'll be here at NXT Revolution. They have a lot. The card is pretty stacked for NXT Revolution. This was just a horrible NXT, so hopefully they bounce back. I wanted it to be good. I really, really wanted it to be good. All right, we got some live comments, and I really appreciate it, especially considering all the different time zones that we're in. So much love. Let's see what it is. I am Mikey and Lennox Wooderson and Malik Douglas. All right. Let's go straight across. I appreciate all your live comments. It really does mean a lot, especially when it's I really appreciate the live comments, especially when it's a smaller show at a wacky time. I am Mike Ashman. I'm just going to go in order. NXT is the only good product WWE produces in this phase of programming. I agree with that. I don't want people to think I'm an NXT hater. I think I'm disappointed in NXT because week after week after week, it's a good show. This is the first time I could say it wasn't a good show. I Am Mikey goes on, NXT highlights, Kevin Steen. I mean, Owens' hype vignette was dope. I really liked it. I like the fact that they brought in a family, the fight. I like that. I like the fact that they talked about how long it took them to get there. I really did like the vignette. I'm very happy that Kevin found the middle ground on how to package his WWE image. Yeah, I hope Kevin Steen does good. Kevin Steen, for a long time, was the only reason I kept watching Ring of Honor. So I'm a huge Kevin Steen fan. I really am. I just think he's got the total package. The only thing he doesn't have is the WWE looks. And to me, that's the last thing on my checklist. You know what I mean? Like, of what a pro wrestler is. But some people, looks are important, especially for Vinnie Mac and the crew. I Am Mikey, Mike Ashman. So when it comes to WWE Divas, you can't stress out on the logic on how to develop strong and independent women. At least TNA can build women that can at least deliver pro wrestling. Lucha Underground can be trusted of legit pro wrestler, women's pro wrestling with respect. I think Sexy Star, and I said this in Lucha Underground, I think Sexy Star is the best booked woman in American pro wrestling history. I really believe that. I believe it from the bottom of my heart. Let's see. And I think TNA does a good job. TNA does some stupid things, but when it comes to the women, I think TNA usually does a lot better than WWE. I hope they don't mess up Charlotte. Charlotte seems the thing. And Lennox Woodard says, Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you, too. Thank you. I'm glad to catch a review. Appreciate it. Are you going to make a video about the CM Punk interview? Yes. I'm not doing a CM Punk interview show yet because Boom Boom is at work and he really wants to be a part of that show. So this will be my last show for a couple hours. I did a Lucha Underground review. I did an ROH review. And then we're going to do an all-news broadcast where we're going to hit 3 major stories. The 3 major stories that we will be hitting that Boom Boom wanted to be a part of. And Boom Boom's part of the team, and I didn't want to do a show, and then Boom Boom wanted to talk, and him do a separate show, so we just waited. But I will talk about CM Punk. We'll be doing a news show within 24 hours. I will talk about the CM Punk situation, the AJ Styles Clash injuring Yoshi situation, and also we'll be talking about Josh Matthews going to TNA to replace the Professor. So yeah, we will be doing the CM Punk interview, but Boom Boom, who's been a loyal friend and a hard worker for the channel, wanted to be a part of that show. So I was like, all right, let me get all these small reviews out of the way. But we will be doing a big news show where we talk about the CM Punk interview. So yeah, there will be that. So like, comment, subscribe. Who would have been a better debut match for Finn Balor? I think it was a perfect debut match opponent-wise. They just didn't put on a match. Like, if it was okay if they went out there and wrestled. I actually don't think I think the opponent was perfect. I really do. I don't think it's the opponent. I think it was the agent, the storyline. I don't know. Maybe it was nerves. Maybe a new guy came in. Also, like, when you go into it, like Umaga talked about this, A-Train talked about this, Tyson Tomko talked about this. When you go in to WWE, they'll tell you, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. Like, everyone, Rob says Kenta is boring. Yeah, well, because every finisher that fucking every superstar uses stole from Kenta. I think, like, a lot of people don't think Umaga's that good of a wrestler, and that breaks my heart because he's an amazing wrestler. But when he did an interview in Japan, and when he went to WWE and was Umaga, came from Jamal to Umaga, he showed him a list of moves, and they were talking about it, and they literally crossed out like 90% of the list. So I'm afraid that might happen to Prince Devitt and Kenta, but I hope they still get to shine. I don't think who his opponent was. I think Tyson Kidd's a perfect opponent, to be honest. I just wish they were allowed to go at it, or maybe Prince Devitt was scared. I don't know the situation. I was backstage, but I was expecting a hell of a lot better match out of both athletes. So I don't think I wouldn't have picked a different opponent. I would have just either the agents told them to be safe or they were nervous. I don't know what the situation was, but it was one of those, on paper it was amazing, and in real life you're just like, what the fuck happened? And, if it is Prince Devitt's fault, maybe it's nerves. If it was Tyson Kidd's fault, maybe it was, hey, dude, slow down, kid, slow down, kid. That's what a lot of older wrestlers tell younger wrestlers, because then the younger wrestlers won't get over and they protect their spot. That's a possibility. Maybe the agent said, hey, save this shit for the pay-per-view. I don't know what the situation is, but I don't think it was the matchup as much as the execution of the matchup. Malik Douglas says, why can't they name the NXT pay-per-views better? It's like the In Your House pay-per-views had a subtitle, and that was it. Also, I looked over Finn Balor's matches, and I don't think he's that good. I don't know. I'm just weird. I guess it just depends. Like, if you don't think he's that good, Malik Douglas, I just think maybe you don't like cruiserweight wrestling. I've said this before when he was coming, Prince Devitt. I think he's the best cruiserweight wrestler in the world. But if you don't like cruiserweight wrestling, then maybe you won't like him. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. I honestly do. And maybe you just don't like his style. I don't know the situation. Now, with that, Malik Douglas, I ask you this. Are you talking about when he was with the Bullet Club? Because he didn't have that many good matches in the Bullet Club. He was doing that bullshit heel shit. Try to look for one. If you like cruiserweight wrestling, I think he's the best at it, that style, or one of the best at it. And look for when he was a face. When he's a heel, I have to be honest, he really did kind of slow down his style to get storylines over and stuff. So I don't know when you're watching it, but, hey, you can have your own opinion about it. It's cool. Lennox Wooderson says, WWE seems to forget that Big Show had an ironclad contract. He didn't need to turn on Cena. WWE forgets everything, Lennox Wooderson. They have an anonymous general manager this week who is Hornswoggle. I wish about this, Lennox Wooderson. I really wish they really did pay attention to their own storylines, because for people that are loyal and watch, you get kind of punished by that. They only care about the casual fans and the ratings. I wish, I always said this about WWE, and I even told the guys at FCW this. I've even told a couple guys in WWE this. I wish WWE just had 3 or 4 guys who just sat in the creative meeting. They did not pitch anything. Maybe 2 smart guys, 3 smart guys, who knows? But anyway, more than one. So 2 to 4 guys. And their only job is to make sure that it connects. Because in movies, you have a guy that says, oh, he had a cigarette. The cigarette was this far in. Oh, he was wearing a blue jacket, not a red jacket. They have guys that literally try to remember the sequence of stuff so that when you go to edit it, there's not oh, he's almost done a cigarette. Oh, wow, he's got a brand new cigarette, in a blink of an eye. They still slip up, like in Terminator 2. There's a lot of slip-ups in Terminator 2. But I think WWE needs to hire people on that sit in the creative meeting, don't pitch any ideas, and just say, no, that doesn't work. You can't have a non-honors general manager because earlier you said it was Hornswoggle. No, you can't have Big Show do that because you had an ironclad. And I think one of the biggest mistakes in WWE history as far as it goes, it was Jericho returning. I remember the Save Us Jericho promos. That was the worst kept secret because WWE messed up. The magazine had Jericho on the cover saying, look at his great return. Or I'm paraphrasing that, but it's bragging about how Jericho returned a week to 2 weeks before the pay-per-view aired where Jericho really returned. I just think they need someone to be there that's no, you can't do this. You can't do that. And they do it in movies, and, WWE loves entertainment. That's why I would sell it on that. Well, in movies, they have people that make sure. Anyone that's been on the set of a movie or watched a set of a movie or whatever, there's a guy, maybe 1 or 2, that their job is literally to make sure everything looks exactly the same. So if the actor had a scar on his left arm, it's always got to be on the left arm. It's always, and they mostly do it with clothes, cigarettes, lighting, just stuff like that, stuff that could change. I wish WWE had a guy like that in creative. And I'm pretty sure they're so egotistical, they'd be like, oh, why bother? Who gives a shit? But it matters, because, when you're done the end of the day, and you're sitting down, you're watching pro wrestling, you want to escape, and you want to live in their world. And what hurts living in their world is plot holes or errors. it sucks when you're sitting down watching a movie and you're like, wait, why did that happen? Why did that? So yeah, I think it would be kind of interesting. Uh, do you think they should have pulled the trigger on giving Zane the championship earlier? This is a really tough call. I don't know if I would have pulled the trigger on Zane winning the championship earlier, because I thought it was a good storyline. I just would have brought more Kenta, Prince Devitt, and all those guys earlier. So I just think they put too many matches in multiple days for Sami Zayn. I would have spread out his matches. I think the pace is okay. And granted, we don't know what's going to happen at the pay-per-view, or the special event, but that might change my opinion. But as of now, the only thing that I think is wrong is that Sami Zayn had to wrestle like 10 matches in 2 days. I think that's kind of bullshit. I am Mikey. Mike Ashman says Prince Devitt and Kenta are slowly ending up lost in the WWE shuffle. They are just lazy on direction. The match Devitt versus Tyson would have been epic with the leash off. Fuck, I fear for talent that scooped up so no other promotion could make them megastars. Hopefully a positive outcome prevails. Looking forward to the NXT events. Evolution reevaluation or whatever. LOL. Yeah, I'm very afraid. I am very afraid that these guys are set here to fail. What do you think Kevin Owens will do on his debut? I'm hoping maybe just an introduction match. Who's the fat fuck that I hate? I would love to see him beat the hell out of that fat fuck. Oh, fuck. I don't remember his name. I apologize. But I would like to see in a squash match. Just, oh, here he is. Bam, he's whooping some ass. You know, maybe not a squash match, but a really short, dominant match. Lennox Wooderson says, I think Becky Lynch is struggling with her new character. What could she do to help her? Should they add another person to the stable? If so, who? I don't think Becky Lynch should have ever joined the stable. It's like, I'm a rock and roll girl. Like, I saw her as like a combination of stuff. I saw her as a young Lita joining like an Irish rock band. And I was like, oh, okay, you can really market this. And then they're like, oh, well, now I'm best friends with a city girl who is fucking, I don't know how to describe her, but like a city type fucking loudmouth girl. And I was like, all right, that just seems weird. I don't think I would have ever put her in that group. It just seems like an odd couple. And now she has to be like this young Lita Irish rocking girl who's also best friends with like this city rich girl who's a bitch. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe adding a third person to the stable might help, but I don't understand why they're even friends. To be honest with you, I would wait. I would probably break them up right away. I would break them up right away. I don't see it. So yeah, I think her struggling with her new character because it doesn't make sense. Lennox Wooderson, after what Alberto had to say about Triple H and what Punk said about Triple H, do you feel he's the right guy to run NXT? I don't think we have a choice. I think it's a king. He's a king. We have no choice. We just got to hope he makes the right decisions. You don't have to be loyal like some of these fuckers, man. You want to make yourself sad, Lennox Wooderson and other members of the Internet Infantry? Go to Ryback or go to a big WWE star and just click on the replies. You'll be sad. You'll be sad. That made me sad. Is NXT just a fair way for him to gain fans' trust, then to take control of the WWE? Will he get muscled up wrestlers and internet darlings will be buried? I don't know. I don't know because there's two sides of Triple H. All I know is that it's an ass-kissing environment, and Triple H is the prince in waiting, and Vince is the king who's dying on his bed, and you have to kiss both their asses. I think there's a part of Triple H that really wants wrestling to do good, but above all, he wants you to kiss his fucking ass. So I don't know if it will all be muscleheads. There's a possibility, but I think it's more of who's his best friend. Because, I mean, X-Pac, Road Dogg, those guys ain't fucking models at all. and they were guaranteed to have, in their primes would have been guaranteed spots. So yeah, I think it's just ass kissing. If you're a great wrestler, you best be a great ass kisser. I don't know if it'll be as much of a, hard up on the muscle guys as Vince was, but if the muscle guy kisses ass, he's going to get farther. I think when it comes to Triple H, it's kneel before the king and kiss the ring. And people are lining up to kiss that ring. But I hope Triple H does it, because there's a part of me that thinks Triple H wants wrestling to be good. But also, you have to kiss his ass. You ever notice all the new superstars that everyone's crazy for posing with pictures with Triple H? Triple H doing the too sweet. We're best friends. Yeah, dude, that's the future of wrestling. If you want to be good, if you're sitting in the back and you're a great wrestler, let's be completely honest. Most likely, Chris Hero is not in the WWE because he didn't kiss ass. That's just the fucking reality of it. It's sad how much you have to kiss ass, bro. It is sad. I am Mikey. Mike Ashman says, Adrian Pac, Neville, and Generico, sorry I studied there, can't leave NXT for the main roster without a program that only involves Kenta, Devitt, and Kevin. That would be nice. It would be nice to see that. There are internet reports that Prince Devitt and Kenta in their contract have to be fast-passed and cannot wait that long in NXT. I don't know how accurate that is, but I know that Devitt and Kenta, part of the deal was, we are not going to stay in NXT that long because, well, we can make a lot more money in Japan. So I don't know if WWE will keep the word. I don't know if that's contract talk, but I could actually see Kenta and Devitt being brought up to the big stage before Pac, Neville, Generico. Prince Pretty's been there for 4+ years. So it's a really ugly business. Malik Douglas says, oh no, I love Cruiserweight Wrestling. That's good. And yeah, the matches I watched was when he was a heel. I guess I'm looking at the wrong stuff. Yeah, when he was in the Bullet Club, he became a character and did heel stuff. And me, being a Prince Devitt fan, was really upset because he wasn't going at his all. He wasn't going 100%. And that really bothered me. It did. It bothered a lot of people, but people love the Bullet Club for some reason. I absolutely love it. I don't hate the Bullet Club, but I definitely don't love it as much as the internet does. You guys sure love those motherfucking Bullet Club. Lennox Wooderson, reports say that WWE lost $1.5 billion since the loss of the networks. What goes first? Vince steps down or the network closes down? That is a billion-dollar question, Lennox Wooderson. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. There's been reports on a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Financial websites that Vince and the family want to sell it. They want to step down, but Vince has always just denied it. That is really, really tough. I think, man, that's a billion-dollar question. Lennox Wooderson, thank you for such a great question. You know what? Vince is stubborn. Vince is really, really stubborn. I don't think either. I think he'll ride that shit out, bro. I really do. This is a really good question. I don't have an honest answer, but I think the only way Vince steps down is if he makes bank and sells that shit. And the network closes down. I don't know. They put some, but then they shut down the XFL, the WWF. So I don't know. I'm saying the network closes down, but they market it a sneaky way. You know what I'm saying? It's well, we have an on-demand feature on our website, and, you could get the on-demand for free. I don't know. I think the network closing down, but them spinning it. They'll spin it in a certain way where it doesn't look like the network closed. Oh, we don't do the 24-hour thing because it's just not worth it. And, oh, we don't do that. Oh, guess what? We're going to give everything away for free on WWE.com, and slowly but surely, no, we're not. I think yeah. And the more I think about it, I think the network closes down first. Vince maybe sells everything, but he denies he'll ever do that. But it won't be a closed down completely. He won't have put a mud in his face. It won't be like the XFL or the World Body Federation. I think it will be, well, now it's on WWE.com. Now it's free. Now it's, I think there'll be a spin, some type of spin. I heard that Triple H wants to kill Punk. This is from Lennox Witterson. Who do you think would win in a fight? I say Punk. MMA is nothing to mess around with. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a CM Punk guy, but Triple H is a big guy. Triple H, I've seen him box. He's not that good at throwing the fist for real. Throwing fists in pro wrestling and throwing fists as boxing. Like I remember they were showing, I think it was Triple H, Brock Lesnar. They were showing boxing footage. And me and Jerry, we cover all combat sports, and we were laughing our asses off. And we thought this was leaked footage. And I was like, that's leaked footage. And Jerry goes, no, that's not leaked footage. That's what they're actually showing. Triple H sucks at throwing legit punches. I don't know. I guess it just depends. I mean, you got a guy who can fight versus a guy who's big. It'd be interesting. I'd say CM Punk, but you never know who get the best of who. But most of the time, nothing will really happen. The more time you spend around wrestlers, the more you realize they're just ass-kissing, insensitive fucking twats. Really. They're like, no, wrestling fans don't know anything. I can fucking fight anybody. Really, you really can't fight. You can't. I'm no fucking Bruce Lee, but Jesus. I would say CM Punk, but I'm a little biased just because I'm a CM Punk guy. I'm sure people that hate CM Punk would be like, "Dude, get killed by that twerp or whatever." All right. Let's see. BGC Fan 17 says, "I didn't watch NXT, but can you please tell me why WWE doesn't use the wrestler's real name? Finn Balor is one horrible name." Oh, it's all copyright. It is all because of copyright. CM Punk still owns his name, and just think of the nightmare if CM Punk wanted to be. They just don't like. Remember, in the Attitude Era, during Monday Night Wars, Macho Man Randy Savage jumped, Hulk Hogan jumped, all these guys jumped and kept their name. Well, Vince and WWE is like, well, I marketed you. What the fuck, man? And I know CM Punk had to be a real asshole to keep his name. But yeah, it's just they WWE feels, and some of them might be right. There's two sides to every story. That's the code word. A company. Listen, whenever a company is really in trouble and all their employees are saying the same exact thing, that's because they're being coached. When you go to Twitter and there's two sides to every story, that's what they're being told to say. It's kind of like when you watch the Republican channels and all of them say the same thing, or you watch the Democrat channels and all of them say the same thing. That's just passed down. Right now, WWE is in a panic, and what they're telling all their fucking workers to say is, there's two sides to every story. Just keep going with that. That's the narrative. Just keep repeating that. But there is two sides to every story, and WWE's side of the story believes they put in money, they marketed you, they built you, and they don't want you to leave and take all their hard work with them. I don't think it's fair, but that's their point of view. And I especially don't think it's fair when, if someone came into your company, like the Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys can't use their fucking names, but they were the Dudleys before. But that's why, to get past this, they're like, all right, just come up with new names. And Kenta came up with a new name, and Finn Balor came up with a name. It is kind of horrible, but there was a story on Koco Sports. It's all about Irish folklore and legendary stuff. So, I don't know. I guess it could be worse. But yeah, it's based on Irish legends. That's what Finn Balor is about. I wish Jerry O'Neill was here. I apologize. Maybe I'll have Jerry O'Neill answer that, and I'll put it in the comments. But I know like Finn and Balor separately are two legendary Irish characters. I guess mythology. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but that's where Finn Balor comes from. All right. And Lennox Wooderson asks, who has been the best NXT champ, or who has been the most over? Uh, I don't know. Big E was really over. Big E was really over. Yeah, it's been a short title run. I mean, I think Pac has been amazing in the ring, but I don't know if he's been over. I think I'm gonna have to say Big E. I mean, back in the day, but this was FCW. FCW had some really over champs. I'm trying to think when the NXT title began. Yeah, because like a lot of the guys I'm thinking of, I'm like, no, that was the FCW title. Was that the FCW title? Like that's what's going through my head. I guess NXT guys. I'm gonna say Big E. I could be wrong if I had a list of NXT champs. Matter of fact, no, I want to do that. NXT champs. I apologize. I just been watching NXT ever since it was also FCW, and that's it. To Wikipedia, NXT Championship. Here we go. Seth Rollins was the first one ever. Big E, Bo Dallas, Adrian Neville. Yeah, Seth Rollins was an amazing wrestler, but I don't think he was that over first one. Bo Dallas was really good. I'm going to say Big E Langston. Neville and Seth Rollins, I think, were the best in ring, and as far as over and crowd reaction, Bo Dallas and Big E Langston were close. But I just remember, because I think I went to a couple of those NXT shows, and I just remember people going absolutely insane for the 5 count. So there you go. I'm going to say Big E Langston. Some people might disagree, but there's really 2 good characters and 2 great wrestlers. So, boom, there you go. Will the McMahons reply to Punk during an interview with Austin on Monday? To be honest with you, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because people already got their back. People already got. There's nothing you could do. Maybe they will. If I was Vince McMahon, and this is just me, and I'm not Vince McMahon, I don't know what Vince McMahon's going to do, but if I was, I would totally take the high road. I would be like, I'm sorry CM Punk feels that way. He was an important part. You do that. You take the high road. I think you're going to, all the WWE supporters who hate CM Punk right now are going to love you even more. And people that are on the fence going, oh, I don't know. Punk, what the fuck? I think if McMahon comes out and starts ripping him, I honestly believe he'll lose more of an audience. I just wouldn't, and I don't think he will. I would be shocked if he will, because already every WWE superstar. Well, there's 2 sides to every story. There's 2 sides to every story, and I would, like, he took the high road on Macho Man Randy Savage. I would take the high road. I just would. I think it benefits you the most business-wise, especially if Punk never comes back. Because the problem is, you have the fortress. He has nothing. You have everything to lose. Why battle that guy? Never battle someone that has nothing to lose. I would take the high road. I would find it interesting what Austin's podcast is going to be like, if McMahon's going to be honest. But I know McMahon loved CM Punk, and Triple H hated him. So if I was a betting man, or if I was Vince McMahon, I would take the high road. There's just so much more benefit to the company if you take the high road. All right, boom. Let's see. I might be wrapping this bad boy up. Thank you so much for the live comments. It really does help the show move along. Boom, 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 boom. Yep, there you go. All right, Lennox Wooderson, you're the last comment of the day. BGC Fan 17, thank you. Malik Douglas, thank you. I am Mike Ashman, thank you. And I think that's everyone. If I missed you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate the live comments. It really does mean a lot. Please like, comment, subscribe. I did an ROH and Lucha Underground review before this. Me and Boom Boom plan on doing a news show where we'll talk about CM Punk in detail. Boom Boom just wanted me to wait for it. And normally if it was just anyone else, I'd be like, fuck you, Boom Boom. I'm going to talk about it, but I respect the Booms. We'll also talk about AJ Styles and injuring with the Styles Clash to Yoshitatsu. And we'll also talk about Josh Matthews taking over at TNA. So we'll do 3 stories, 1 news broadcast. and hopefully we'll do a lot more. We will be doing a SmackDown review within the next 24 hours. With my health and Thanksgiving, these shows were pushed back. So thank you for leaving live comments and being part of the show and all that. Also, like, comment, subscribe, and also check out the blog. We're hoping that one day the blog becomes your number one stop for combat sports news. We're hoping to improve it every day. It's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. We will be doing a news story type show within the next 24 hours, and still also that. So bam, just checking last second comments. Nope. There you go. All right. Thank you all for the comments. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. Go to CocoSports.com. And with that, I am over.